Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Kovac Enterprises. As I was going through my stash pile, I was contemplating on what to build next, and I decided on what you see there in front of you. It's the Dodge Ram VTS Pickup Dream Rides Edition from Monogram. It is considered a Skill 2 level, and this is a 125 scale model itself. We can go ahead and turn the box here, and of course on the side of the box we have basically our paint guide here, and then of course we have a profile again of what is being shown on the front cover of the box itself, what it looks like when it's assembled. And then of course on the back here we have the side profile of the truck after it's been built, and you can kind of get a picture of what looks like under the hood with the engine. So that is basically what the box cover looks like. So we'll go ahead and set that off to the side. And next up we'll start kind of looking at some of the parts that is inside the box. All the parts itself are molded in white. So, alright, and of course this is the body of the truck itself, which actually was packaged separately from the other parts themselves, so that I guess they wanted to keep it from being scratched up and everything like that. So let's go ahead and take it out of the box here and we'll get a closer look of it. Let's see if I can bring it a little bit. It looks pretty good as far as I can see. There's basically no flashing or anything like that. It's nicely detailed itself. So there's that, and then we'll kind of turn around. You can see the front part there. It does have some built-in parts. Looks like the battery and a few other items that's actually molded into the side of the panels there underneath the hood, which will be part of the engine sequence itself. This might be a little bit of some flashing right here. We may have to take that off. But you can see the windshields are already molded in place, or I should say windshield wipers are molded in place, and so that's good there. And of course there's the other side there where you got your molded lines here on the side of the thing here with the door handles. And you have looks like the Ram VTS, which of course this is the Viper edition, what's the VTS stands for. So not bad looking in itself. And of course then we have the bed of the truck itself. It's got some nice molded lines in there. And let me bring it up into the camera here. Okay. And of course here's the back part where the tail pipes come out themselves. Just a little touch-up cleaning, trimming out the for the rear tail lights. So, but overall, it looks pretty good there. As far as all the mold lines and everything, it looks pretty clean. So that is our body of our pickup truck. Of course, here's the transparent red tail lights. You can see that. Let me put my hand behind there so you can look. There you go. Okay, so we have our right, left tail lights there. As far as the chrome pieces, very small. I'll kind of leave them in the package here, I guess. Of course, here's your rims and your other components for the truck, disc brakes, and looks like the, let me flip this around here. Then you got your basically your head for your headlights and everything like that, for your chrome pieces there, and of course for the outside mirrors. So that's it for the chrome. As far as the clear parts, basically it's your standard windshield, the rear window itself, and then the lens covers for the headlights, and probably for the fog lights or anything like that. They got a couple little things here. We'll kind of flip it around. It was kind of hard with the package. I'll tell you what. We'll get into it a little bit later. I just want to kind of keep it in the package so it doesn't scratch the clear parts. But once we start building, we'll go ahead and give you a closer look on that. But that's it for the clear parts on that. And like I said before, all the parts are molded in white. So we'll start with our first piece right here. Here's our basically our frame. And you can see we got some writing right here. So we'll go ahead and probably take some alcohol pads and get rid of that for you, since that's on the underside there. And of course we have our firewall here, and then we've got our front suspension, our rear sway bar. So that's it for this one piece on the tree. Those are our parts there. And of course we go on to our next one here. And of course we have our bench seat right here. And then of course it's the back of the bench seat. Bench seat, the back of the bench seat, and we've got our door panels. And again, nicely molded. There's not much flashing going on with this. We'll flip this around here so you can see the interior bucket. Just basically your standard bucket there. And then of course we have our inner wheels here. There you go. Get back into focus. Alright. And then of course we have our front grille for the Dodge Ram truck. So that's it for that tree. And here we go with our basically our dashboard right there, and it's nicely detailed. Now, like I said, I'll go ahead and paint that up to bring out the features of the detail for that. Of course, this is the top of the dashboard here, and then this is the one part of the radiator, and of course then this is the rear part of the radiator itself. This is part of the interior tailgate right here. And then we have our left and right rear shocks. And I believe this is a shifter right there. And of course then we have our little brake cylinder. And this is the gearbox for here. We have our steering wheel. And then over here, of course, we have our exhaust pipes and our left and right mirror housings. So that is that. So that is for that tree there. Got two more trees to set up here for you. And of course this tree is basically having to do with the engine. It's assembly. So there's our main engine right there for parts there. And then all the components that kind of go with it. Here, there, the belt assembly, front part of the engine itself here. This is the oil pan right here. And of course then we got our rear suspension. And these are our leaf springs, drive shaft, differential cover. They say this is a shifter boot for that. And these are the actual hood hinges right there. And of course we got some manifold covers and whatnot. And then we got our little radiator hose right there. So that is pretty much it for this tree. Like I said, again, I don't see too much flashing going on there. Might have to trim it up a little bit in some areas, but for the most part, all the parts I've seen are really nicely detailed for a monogram kit. So there you go, there's that. And then of course we have our main hood here, right there. And then we've got our front bumper. And this is still part of the bed, front of the bed pan right there. And then of course we have our tailgate right there as well. And this is actually like kind of like a cover lid for the back of the bed of the truck. And I guess this is like a couple of panels as well. So there you go, kind of a little close look there. Looks very nice. And of course, with any kit, we have our basically our instructions, and of course, monogram kind of tells you a little summary of the history of the Ram VTS pickup truck. So it gives you like a little history, like I said, that you can read. And like I said before, this is a Viper version of the truck itself. And overall, the instructions are pretty simple and basic. There's actually 8 steps in this buildup of the truck. So it just kind of basically gives you step by step. But overall, like I said, there's basically 7 steps. The 8th one is basically decal placements. And then something I kind of like myself personally is they actually give you a breakdown of the parts name with the numbers, so you can kind of follow along, and so you know what the name of each part is that you're gluing together. So there's that. It kind of goes from number 2 all the way to the next page up to 116. They got some number skip in there, but like I said, it gives you a nice detailed name for each of the parts that you're going to be gluing for this project. And of course, the decals themselves. Let's see what we got here. Stand by. Okay. Last but not least is the decals for this build, and it's very kind of simple. It's kind of hard to see, but this top part here is basically the white stripes that are supposed to go down the middle of the truck, and then you have some like the license plate right here probably for front and back, and then you got the little Ram decal that you would put on the truck itself, and then of course the Ram VTS decal that goes on the side doors on both the right and left side. So very simple decal sheet on there, and so that is it. One thing I do say is that since this kit is molded in white, my truck is a Dodge Ram truck itself. It's not necessarily VTS, it's a Ram 1500, but it's all in white. So I'll kind of take a closer look at the body of it. I may leave it just the way it is, put a little bit of some future on there, and call it a day for that. But we'll see how it goes, and we'll kind of go from there. So that is it for this out-of-box review. I'll put this back in place for you. All right. And like I said, this will be our next project. I will be getting started on this right away, and we will have some updates as we move along with it. And I hope you all watch. And oh, one more thing I just happened to notice in the corner of my eye. Let's talk about the tires. Okay, of course they're rubber. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but the tread lines are nicely detailed as well. And they gave you actually 5 tires to work with. So you could probably use one for a spare if you want to. But very nicely molded rubber tires, and they look like they're in good shape. So, okay. Alright, without further ado, that's the end of this video. Like I said, we'll be moving along with this build, and we will see you next time. Until then, everybody have a good day, and we'll catch you later. Bye.